The left slamming President Trump for sending the National Guard to the border. But this isn't the first time it happened, and everyone was in support at one point. Guy Benson is here. He's talking hypocrisy.
Why is this such an urgent priority right now for the president to sign?
There's a lot of speculation in the country that this might have something to do with something the president saw on television, or it might have something to do with the fact that the president wants to shore up support amongst his political base.
Congressman Ruben Gallego tweeted, using the National Guard to do border security is very expensive. For what it would cost the Guard to make just 2 arrests at the border, we could give a homeless veteran permanent housing for an entire year.
Wow, reporters going after the White House plan to deploy the National Guard to the border. They could be heading there right now.
The thing is, though, both Bush and Obama administrations have done this before, so why is the media acting like this is unprecedented?
Yeah, good question. Join us right now, the political editor of townhall.com and Fox News contributor, Guy Benson. Guy, I don't remember that level of concern when Barack Obama did that.
Yes, so there was a National Guard deployment to the southern border under President Bush. It was Operation Jumpstart. And then Operation Phalanx under President Obama, 2006, 2010, respectively. Thousands of National Guard troops sent down there to help with the interdiction of drugs and processing of people who were captured at the border, illegal immigrants. And so I think that what we're seeing now, as we so often see with this president and this presidency, there's less attention paid in some quarters to does this decision make sense versus oh my gosh, is this a threat to the country? Why is this happening? It seems like anything he does is treated as abnormal and crazy, and it detracts from the policy debate, and they're trying to frame it as unprecedented or bizarre, when in fact, as I just laid out, it is fully precedented.
And you've done a really good job of calling balls and strikes. There are things that the president does that you don't like, and the things that he does that you do like. You'll comment on it. But there's no change of temperature elsewhere. This is the 300,000 people are coming here at the minimum annually, illegally. So it is logical to try to do something to stop it. If Congress won't act, put the National Guard there. But guess who's the one state who's saying, I'm not doing it? It looks like California is going to bow out of that.
Yeah, well, there's a shock. And I think the people in Southern California, a number of them through their elected representatives, are pushing back against the sanctuary policies of their state emanating out of Sacramento, because some of the local counties closer to the border are saying, hang on, Sacramento, we're not on board with this flouting the federal government thing. This is affecting our communities. So again, I think you can have a reasonable discussion. Does it make sense to deploy the National Guard at this moment for the reasons being cited? But to try to pretend like this is out of the mainstream or beyond the pale or something very strange or dark or problematic, I mean, we've seen this from both parties over the last 10, 20 years.
Well, one reporter saying we could help the homeless population with this amount of money. But we just saw in the budget that there was a lot of money allocated for military. The question is, does it work? Did it work for President Obama? Did it work for President Bush? Did we see numbers go down of illegal immigrants coming into our country?
Well, you saw the number of illegal immigrants getting processed go up. You saw huge announcements about drugs being captured at the border or interdicted at the border. Whether or not it made a dent long term, I think that's debatable. And that could play into the Trump administration's argument here, though, saying this is not a permanent solution, but the border guard is overwhelmed.
Better than nothing.
We've lost a lot of border guards through attrition and haven't rehired. We're incapable of rehiring. They need extra hands and boots on the ground. But ultimately, if you want to help fix the problem more permanently, you need an act of Congress. You need actual measures, and good luck.
Right. Well, you know, the President of the United States kind of got a win this week when it comes to illegal immigration because he called out that caravan, and they have disbanded, although a number of people are going to try, apparently, to rush the border anyway.
Well, this was another thing that was a criticism of President Trump, where he came out and said, you have this migrant chain of people, this sort of caravan of folks coming up. The Mexican government apparently was doing nothing to stop them. He got angry. He may have seen that on this very program. He got angry about it, said, look, we're renegotiating NAFTA. We're looking at our border problem, and the Mexican government's going to do nothing about illegal immigrants and entrants into their country coming towards ours. Give me a break. Let's do something here. And the Mexican government, the Mexican ambassador was on Brett Bayer's show on Monday. He was pressed on this, and don't you know it, 24 hours later, boom, there are some deportations.
He was on the phone with Homeland Security, Kirsten Nielsen, talking to her, trying to negotiate.
So, I mean, that's a result.
And one of the results would be renegotiating NAFTA, which could be coming in April if this can be solved.
Big chip for the Mexicans.
All right. Guy Benson, we thank you very much for joining us live.
Thank you.
Just